Okay, let's take a look at a little Rashi on a pasuk in Parshas Balak. Really, Parshas Balak?
Page 57.
The story is that over there, Balak summons Bilam to please go kill the Jews, Hashem Yishmor, to go and curse Am Yisrael. So Balak says, okay, let me find out what Hashem wants. Hashem tells him, do not go. And Balak tells him, I can't go. Bilam says, I can't go. So Balak says, okay, let me try again. So he summons more important ministers, princes, sends them over, and he says, no, please come. And Bilam knows that God does not want the Jews cursed, yet he asks God again, and Hashem says, listen, if you really, really want and you really insist, okay, go. So the pasuk says, Vayokam Bilam baboker. Bilam rose in the morning. Vayachaboish es asoinoi, and he harnessed his mule. Vayelech in Sori Moav, and he went with the princes of Moav. And God's upset at him, and the whole story with the us and the mule talking happens in this point over here. Rashi says, Vayakam Bilam baboker vayachavoish es asoinoi. Says Rashi, what does it mean vayachavoish es asoinoi, that he harnessed his donkey? Mikan, from here we learn, you see this Rashi in pasuk Chof Aleph in Perek Chof Beis, Mikan she'asina mekalkeles es hashuro, which means hatred causes people to do nutty, wacky, meshugana things. Shechobash hu be'atzmoi, because Bilam is this very important, powerful personality. It's not becoming of such an important guy to take the donkey himself and to go harness a donkey himself. You don't harness a donkey yourself. You get one of your people to do it. Imagine whatever, the President of the United States of America decides he's getting up and he's getting into his car himself. Forget the Secret Service, forget my driver, I'm going into the car myself and driving. It's not McCoverdick. You need someone to drive you, someone to take you. Bilam woke up early in the morning, number one. Number two, he harnessed the donkey himself. Okay, so far so good. Bilam hated Am Yisrael. But Rashi continues. Amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So God says, pasuk Chof Aleph, page 449. Rashi says, Amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Rasha, you wicked man. You think you're gonna get me? You're gonna get me excited because you're harnessing the donkey with such alacrity? Kvar kodomcha Avraham Aviem. Their father Avram Avinu, already preceded you. Shenama, because the pasuk says, Vayashkem Avram baboker vayachavoish es chamoirei. That Avram woke up early in the morning and he harnessed his donkey. Rashi is quoting the Medrash. Now this Rashi, this Medrash, is actually super perplexing. What was happening? What was the story? Avram Avinu, what was he doing? Avram Avinu, Hashem told him, go, I want you to offer Kachno, please take your son, Es Yechidcha, Sherohavto, take Yitzchak, and go and offer him as a sacrifice to me. And what does Avram Avinu do?
He does it.
He says, God, if you want something done, no questions asked. I'm running to do it as fast as I possibly can. What does he do? Hashem tells him next morning, right? Actually, God was trying to delay. He showed him the way and took 3 days to do it so that nobody should say, Hamomoi. He confused him and he shocked him and he went in one go. So God says, no, I'm not going to do it in one go, slowly. But Avram Avinu, for his part, rose up in the morning, bright and early, and he too is a very important individual, harnessed the donkey himself, doesn't wait for anyone. He took his 2 boys with him. He woke them up. He says to the 2 boys, his 2 servants, who at that time were Ishmael and Eliezer, he says, okay, come with me. But he harnessed the donkey himself, woke up early in the morning. So God says to Bilam, you think I should give you points for harnessing the donkey yourself? You think harnessing the donkey yourself is even a virtue on your part? Avram Avinu already did it before you. And I'm scratching my head on this Rashi. What is the Medrash saying? That almost as if you should get points for for harnessing a donkey yourself? I mean, you don't score points for going to curse people, to want to chas v'shalom annihilate them, and you're saying, yeah, but what do you mean? I did it quickly. I did it with alacrity. I don't care if you did it with alacrity. The bottom line is, you're trying to kill people. So what's Avram Avinu trying to do? He's trying to fulfill the word of God. He's doing Ratzon Hashem. God wants him to go and offer Yitzchak. Bilam is going against Hashem. Hashem says, if you want to go, go. Bilam's saying, yeah, but what do you mean? But I harnessed my donkey fast. Look how quickly I did it. So I deserve to be paid for my speed, for my haste, for my alacrity. And Rashi just, yeah. Hashem says, no, but Avram came before you. You think you should be paid for doing things quickly? No, Avram came before you. I mean, chas v'shalom, I don't want to, but in our terms, imagine, Yimach Shmoy Hitler. You'll say, the guy's a workaholic. He worked day and night, did everything himself. He was running himself to do things that shouldn't be delayed in any way. Mikan shasina mekalkeles hashura. That I get, that you're becoming sugar because you're so full of hate. But I'm going to say that therefore you should be, Hashem says, Rasha, Kvar Kodam Avram Avim, Avram came before you. What does that mean?
If the Goyim do something, they do have the permission of Hashem. Like
very good, but I don't think you should be paid and for doing it quickly and with alacrity. Again, there's no, one is not comparable to the other. They're not on the same measure.
By the Mitzrayim, because they were doing their job, but because they did it with gusto, then Hashem punished them because they were.
You agree that there's a problem over here? However we're going to answer, there's a problem that we're trying to reward Bilam for his haste as if it's an end and a goal on its own.
Hashem allowed it.
Again, I'm just not comparing the morality of what Avram was doing, so fulfilling the Ratzon Hashem, and what Bilam was doing are not comparable one to the other. And you should be rewarded just for your alacrity.
It's
How can you compare it to Abraham who like...
So let's take a look what happened with Avram. Look at Pasuk Gimel in Perek Chof Beis now in Bereshis. Okay? So the Pasuk says, Vayihi achar dvarim ha'eleh, v'elekim nisves Avram, Hashem tests him. He says, take Yitzchak and go to one of the mountains I tell you and offer him up as an oilah. Pasuk Gimel, page 57, Vayashkem Avram baboiker. Avram woke up early in the morning, Vayachavoish es chamoiroi, and he harnessed his donkey. Says Rashi, Vayashkem nizdarez lemitzvah, the alacrity of a mitzvah. Vayachavoish, he harnessed hu be'atzmoi, he himself. V'lo tzivo le'echad me'avodav. He didn't order any one of his servants. Why? Sha'ava mekalkeles ashuram. Because love causes people to go insane. The opposite of Bilam, the hatred of Bilam causes people to do wacky, insane things. The love of Avram Avinu causes people to do wacky, insane things.
As well?
So Avram he's like, God told me to do it. I don't care what he told me to do. I don't care how difficult it is for me, how impossible it is for me. Take your son Yitzchak. I'm going. Now that I get. So let's try and deduce a lesson from this.
Avram says Vayashkem, it says Nizdar. It doesn't say by Bilam Vayashkem, it says Vayakam. It's a different lashon.
It's true. Vayakam Bilam Vayakam. First of all, Rashi's on the words Vayachavoish.
They both did it together. They both
Vayachavoish, on the harnessing.
Right, that they did.
He's not focusing on that. But if you will, there is a possible Bilam is Lavan, right? So it says Vayashkem Lavan baboiker. Which is another Vayashkem by him, it does say. But yeah, correct. Bilam still woke up in the morning.
Bilam is love.
And then what does it say? Vayachavoish esasoinoi, that he harnesses. So Rashi is focusing on the harnessing yourself. The harnessing of the donkey is the focal point. Let's take this lesson and learn something incredible in Avodas Hashem. Okay?
It's resist.
I don't know about you, but I think all of us, we often say like, I would love to be like Avraham Avinu. Isn't he phenomenal? I mean, God tells him, jump. He says, how high? He has no question. Whatever God orders him to do, he does without questioning. He's like, there's no shyness, there's no delay. It's immediate. What God tells him to do, he does right away. Avram has no questions on God. God tells him, I mean, this is Akedas Yitzchak. Akedas Yitzchak meant that there was a Yitzchak on whom his whole everything depended. Yitzchak was born to him at a very late age in his life. Yitzchak was the next generation. Yitzchak meant that everything he had would be continued. And obviously he didn't know the end of the story, right? You know the end of the story. He didn't know that. As far as he knew, Yitzchak was over. Now God told him, but Yitzchak yikar l'chazara. He could have argued with God and said, listen, God, which one should I fulfill? You said Yitzchak's going to be your seed. You said Shech Yitzchak. How do I reconcile the two? I can't reconcile the two. So he said, so if that's the case, what does it look like? It looks like you are confused. And yet, there's none of that. Zero, none of that. What does he do? Hashem says, go, he goes. You know that he would have been looked like a real fool after God would have told him, I don't mean you should shecht him. You should listen to the other one. He doesn't question. He's almost foolish, simple, like a pessie.
There's no fear there.
It's innocence. It's so innocent that it's like sometimes a little bit, dumb. I mean,
The Rabbanim would have been learning it out. It was Hashem said,
right?
do this, do that.
That's why the Ran says. That's why Hashem says
Yes,
kach. That's why Hashem told him kach. No, it's bidcha. He said, please, because I know I told you something else last time, but I really want to have Yitzchak as an oila. So basically, change your mind and do that. And Avram, there is zero hesitation. Now, I don't have in my life that degree of nisayon that Avram has, but I would love to be like Avram Avinu in much simpler things. Wouldn't it be amazing to wake up in the morning, like Yashkim Avram Baboiker, and to actually want to go serve the Eibishter, to want to wake up in the morning, and the first thing in the morning you say Moed Ani Lefanecha, and you wash negavasa, and then you get it. You say brachas, and you get into this mode. You say Elikayin Shamar Shema Sata B'Tahirei, and all you can think about is how to do good for the day. And Vayashkim Avram Baboiker, of course, means you daven Shachris, and you go and you actually daven Shachris, and you focus on it, and you actually concentrate. And yeah, I know sometimes we don't have time and things happen, but much of the time we do have time and we could do it. We just have this Yetzer Hara inside of us that doesn't allow us to do it. Doesn't allow us to be good. Wouldn't it be amazing that I could come home at night? Yeah, I'm tired from a whole day's work, but I come home at night and I say, it says, V'agisa b'yoymam v'layla. Perek echad shachar, perek echad arv. I'm going to learn, sit down to learn now. And then I sit down and fall asleep in front of the Gemara. And I'm like, I can't do this. Wouldn't it be amazing to just have the ability to, God says jump and you say, yeah, what? Again, not to kill Chas v'sholom your kid, just to learn and to daven. Wouldn't it be amazing if somebody asked me to give tzedakah, that I shouldn't have this Yetzer Hara who says, no, don't give tzedakah. I should just say, yeah, sure, absolutely. I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you money. I'm going to give you what you need. Just be a good, holy Jew, a wonderful Jew who says, Vayashkem Avram Baboiker. And as the Mefarshim say, Vayachav es chamoyer. What does it mean, Vayachav es chamoyer? Chamor,
Donkey.
Tashbat says. Chamor is your donkey. A donkey is called that because chamor is chumriyut.
You're materialistic.
Your materialism.
It's not good.
To harness.
So like that.
One second. Vayachav es chamoyer means to harness,
Right.
to control your materialism. That means that I take charge. I don't listen to you. I do whatever I want. Vayachav es chamoyer means I'm harnessing my donkey, I'm harnessing my chumrias, and I'm just doing the Ratzon Hashem. And for some reason, the donkey harnesses me.
Yes.
The chamor kind of tells me what to do. So you know what the reason is?
What?
What's the reason why? We
Lazy.
try so hard. I really, really want to do the Ratzon of Hashem. I really want to, and I can't. So I'll tell you my excuse.
We like the chap.
My excuse is called noise and distraction. What happens is, next to my bed, next to my bed is a monster. A little monster. He sleeps there every night. Now the reason is because, I once got an alarm clock, but whatever, it didn't last too long. And the bottom line is, this is a reliable alarm clock. I say to him, okay Google, wake me up at 5:05 a.m. And he just listens. And then it's right next to my bed. And alas, when I wake up in the morning, the alarm goes, wake up. And I wake up, and then he says something else to me. He says, don't you want to know what's going on? What you missed in the last 6 hours? Don't you want to find out like what's happening in the world? You know, who's against who? What's going on? And you say, no, I'm not going to do it. No chance. No way. I want to just think about God. I think about, acknowledge God. I watch Negavasser, and he says, no, it's already been 20 seconds. And you say, no. And you go do your thing, you know, whatever it is. You know what happens to people?
What?
We fall into a rut within 2 minutes of waking up. Because what happens is as soon as I wake up, I already check all my WhatsApps, I want to check my emails, and then maybe look at the news also, and some news feeds, and before I know it, whatever pain happened yesterday is back up and running today. And God tells you, you want to know how it's supposed to work? You're supposed to get up in the morning and meditate on God. You're supposed to wake up in the morning and feel God in your life. You know how you feel God in your life? You daven. You wake up in the morning, you have no phone and no distraction. Of course, the biggest distraction is not the phone. The biggest distraction is this guy inside here, which says, let's think about whatever. And you say to him, no, listen, give me an hour. Okay. The soul you placed inside me is pure. Focus, it's pure. The world doesn't exist. It's 5:30 in the morning. Why do I have to worry what's going on in the world? Nothing will be lost if I don't know about it till later on. And focus on Tahirahi. And you say, Baruch Ato Hashem. You know, bring down God. Shelo Yosani Goy. And focus on how amazing it is. Davening is a meditation. Davening is the most incredible and unbelievable meditation. But we need to meditate. And we don't meditate, we just get distracted. And that distraction, that noise, so there's always pain in my life from yesterday, right? We all got issues, big, small issues, lots going on in our lives. But when you wake up in the morning, you give it a fresh start. When you go to sleep, you say, B'yodcha afkid ruchi. I deposit my spirit, my soul, by you. And you tell God, it's there for you. And the next morning, neshama shenasata b'tahir, He's giving you back your soul. You've got a brand new neshama. Don't wound the neshama. Don't distract him. We do it to our kids also, right? We want them to know what's going on. We want them to be involved around the world. It's very nice, beautiful. But you might be destroying, sometimes, an innocence and a simplicity. Our taina, what we have is, we say to God, I want to be like Avraham. I'd love to be a Vayashkem Avraham Baboikir, Vayachabosh es Chamoiroi, that I can just daven Shacharis, look for God, and harness my materialism, and just serve you. But I can't. Ani lo yachol, because the noise is so distracting, and I live in 2018, and there's so much going on in my life that I can't do it. And then enters Bilam. Now Bilam, Mishnah Perkei Yod says, right? There's Talmidav Shel Avraham Avinu versus Talmidav Shel Bilam HaRasha. Bilam is right the juxtaposition of Avraham Avinu. Whatever Avraham says, Bilam says the opposite. Bilam says, okay, so you say that you would love to be like Avraham, but you taina can't do it. Why? I'm distracted. There's noise. Okay. So basically what you're saying is like this, that you don't know how to, you can't wake up in the morning and not check your phone. It's impossible. I don't know what to tell you. It's not possible to wake up in the morning and not check my phone. That phone says, no, check me, come on. And you're like, reeled in. You check me. I don't know how to find him. Bilam says,
Don't fight him.
I'll show you that sometimes when you need to, you can harness your donkey and do negative things. You say, you don't have time to learn Torah. Can't learn Torah. Mass me day and night. Can't look, I have to work. You ever seen workaholics? You ever see a guy who literally, sometimes I'm amazed by it. I mean, the guy, I see a guy not too far from here. He's incredible. He's incredible. I'll sometimes leave here, leave shul at 11 o'clock, and I see this guy working. And when I'll come back in the morning to learn at 6, he beat me to it and he's already in his office working. And I think it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And when I look at that, I say, 1 second. So you want to tiny that you can't do it, that you don't have the power to do it? But for work, when you want to make money, sometimes you can do it. Whatever you need to do, you can do. For work, you could. For Torah maybe, for Torah learning, I can't do it. Why? Because I'm not as dedicated, I'm not as devoted. But for work, sometimes I have no problem to do it. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. What do we say? Bilam says, I'm going to show you that when you need to focus, you can focus on anything you so desire. Easiest thing in the world. And here's how he proves it. You know, a few years ago, I got, for my extended family program, it's a good cause, it's a great cause. You know, children who need it. So most of the time, I need to go solicit funds for it. I have to go ask people, help. One day, it's great, it's amazing when you get a check and you didn't ask for it. But usually, if you don't ask for it, you're not getting it. One day a guy comes into me and he brings in a check from someone else. He says, he has a check from a friend of mine. It's a $10,000 check. I said, who is this? What is this? He said, whatever, you know. I was sitting with a guy. He was just sitting, unsolicited, told me I was sitting with a guy. He says, and you know, I told him that there's this nice program. He said, sure. Wrote out a $10,000 check. I'm like, that's amazing. That's incredible. Wow. So I called the guy up. I said, thank you. You're amazing. You're awesome. Sent him a letter. You know, it was beautiful. And I didn't understand or know why he gave it. But I became friendly with the guy a little bit. You know, got to know him. About a year later, I told the guy one day, you know, can I come visit you? I come into his office. He's in Borough Park. Amazing guy, Hasidic guy. Young. I come into his office, you know, walk up the steps over there. I come in and his one of his guys, his workers, opens up the door. And he opens up the door for me to his office. And he tells the worker, you know, standing with one of his guys, also from guy, he says, come in. So the guy comes in, and as I walk in, he says, the football rabbi!
Who? The football.
The football rabbi!
Football?
I'm not looking. Who's the football rabbi? You know, I thought you go to yeshiva to learn how to become a poisek, mashpia, a pulpit rabbi, a visiting the sick rabbi, you know, whatever, all these things. That's what you go to learn for. You want to accuse me of football? I don't know what football is. You'll tell me I'm the cricket rabbi? Correct, you got the right country I come from. But I didn't really play cricket properly. Baseball, that's the wrong country. But rugby, I would get. But you're accusing me of being a football rabbi? At least call me a soccer rabbi. Soccer, I can tell you, you know who the teams are. Manchester United versus Liverpool, Manchester City, and Arsenal. Those are the teams. Yeah, they have, I don't know who's what. That's a whole different ballgame. The Red Sox and the Jets and the Mets and the whatever. I got confused who's who and what's what. Wrong game! The football rabbi. So I said, okay, you got to explain that one to me. Why am I the football rabbi? So he tells his guy, he says, sit down, let me tell you what happened. He says, I'll tell you. Last year, you know, I was in a couple years of business. Started out, I'm a yeshiva guy, you know, I'm a Hasidic guy, I don't know anything about business. I started out, he says, and I was making $1 here, $1 there, nothing, whatever. And one day, suddenly, out of the blue, I make a deal. And he says, from heaven, it rains money on me. $200,000 came into my pocket in one deal. And I was watching the money, I was like, awed. I was like, wow. So so much money in my bank account. I'm looking, it's incredible. We gotta celebrate. We gotta celebrate. So how do I celebrate? So the guy who the guy behind the deal was a Yid, secular Yid from some place, I don't know, Long Island. I called the guy up. Now, obviously, I want to solicit more business from the guy. I want to get more deals, whatever. I called the guy up. I said, let's celebrate. He said, sure. How are we celebrating? I told the guy, let's go to the football game in Ohio, I think it was. He says, let's travel to the football game. On me. I'll take you. I said, good.
Weird.
The guy says, fine. They book it for the next weekend. He's booking private jet.
Oh my God. So sure
He calls out a private jet to take them
stupid.
to those an hour flight to go there. Private jet with a thing, limousine, takes him and him picks them both up, takes them to this airport. They go from the thing over there, they're traveling together to the limo to the airport, and they're going. He says, I'm feeling like $1 million. I called up, told my office, call up, order us box seats. And then I ordered special food to come in from top restaurants, and we have everything with waiters and with everything just for the two of us. We have the best you could imagine. Then I decided, you know what, why two of us? Let's invite a couple more friends. So I invited a few more friends to come over together with us. They should also enjoy it. We might as well. We're going on a private jet. And we suddenly became 10 of us. And we have box seats, we have this meal, we have everything. We're walking, we're watching the football game, one incredible football game. He says, I paid for all the tickets to the whole thing. I came back. At the end of the weekend, during the weekend, I felt like a top of the world. I who got a couple $100,000, I took everyone out in a private jet to a box seat in a top football game, and then I got the bill. I look at the bill.
You suppose money.
Look it over again and again. Turn it this way, that way, maybe it's got something wrong in the bill, and I'm reading the bill and I see $185,000. And I'm like, OMG. In Ohio, you could buy a house for that. I blew on one weekend all my money.
I have to be so stupid.
I practically blew everything. I could have bought a house.
Why?
And for all this money for that, I'm like, I'm shocked. I'm like, oh, gosh. He says, and I was with my friends that night, a couple guys, who didn't go to the football game. And I called them, I told them, I'm feeling so empty. I'm feeling so horrible. I'm feeling like, how much good could I have done with that money? What could I have used it for instead of a weekend in an empty, nothing, ridiculous, insane game on a private jet, big deal. And with box seats, it's wonderful. I called my friends in, and I told them I'm feeling terrible. One of my friends tells me, he says, listen, you have no choice. You have to write out right now the biggest check you've ever given in your life to Tzedakah. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, in my entire life, the biggest check I wrote was a little $200, $180, most of the time high. You know, once I gave a guy an $1,800 check. That was like the biggest one I've ever written. You have to write a check that's the biggest, that's gonna hurt you more than ever. It should be $185,000. That's how much it should be. I'm like, that's not happening. And I went right there and then, while I was sitting there, before I would change my mind, I wrote out the words. And I put it in 1, 0, 0, 0, 0. I almost put another 0, but I couldn't do that. And then I wrote it in the words. I put in text 10. I see the shirt English. Send $2. And I gave it to the guy and I said, take this check please. Before I change my mind. Take it away. Take the check, go, get out of here, just get out, go, and what? Who should I write it to? So he wrote it to my extended family, because the guy said that's what you should write it to. And he bought a $10,000 check. And the guy says to me, he says, whenever I see you, you're my football rabbi. Why are you my football rabbi? Because all I can think about when I see you is football and $10,000 that was sent to that because I felt bad over a private jet and $185,000, and the least I could do is $10,000. You see, Bilam has a taina. His taina is, these Jews claim they're too distracted and they're not able to give away. I say that if they had to do it for a animalistic cause, they wouldn't be so distracted. There's a beautiful vort of the Beis HaLevi. The Beis HaLevi was the first of the Brisker dynasty, the grandson of Reb Chaim of Volozhin. He was the father and grandfather of Reb Chaim and the Brisker Rav. Beis HaLevi lived from 1810 to 1892. So he wrote a Perush on the Chumash. And in there he writes the Beis HaLevi on Parshas Vayigash. So Beis HaLevi says as follows. By Yosef HaTzadik, Yosef reveals himself to his brothers. Vayigash Elav Yehuda, Yehuda says, what are you doing? I don't understand. You told us to bring Binyamin over here. You promised us you're going to look after Binyamin. We didn't ask you. You didn't have to tell us to bring our brother. We didn't have to tell you we had a brother. We didn't want to lie to you. We told you we had a brother. We also told you that our father will be dead if we don't bring back Binyamin. And now you framed Binyamin, and you want us to not come back with Binyamin? Says my father will die if I don't bring Binyamin. So the Medrash says, on this, the Medrash Rabbah says, Omar Abu Koyin Bardelo, Oy lanu miyoyim adin, oy lanu miyoyim ateichacha. Woe is to us on the day of judgment, woe is to us on the day of rebuke. Yosef, k'tonon shel shvatim, lo yochlu echav lanos oisoi, ki nivhalu miponav. Yosef was the youngest of the shvatim, they couldn't answer him. How much more so when HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes and rebukes us, what are we going to say? Explains the Beis HaLevi, here's what it means. He says, when Yosef revealed himself, if you pay careful attention, it happened in two stages. First he says, Ani Yosef. Then, right after it, he saw they were scared of him, so he says, Ani Yosef Achichem.
Brother.
What changed? The first time wasn't Ani Yosef, the second time was Ani Yosef Achichem.
Close to you.
Says the Beis HaLevi, the second time he revealed himself was with love. The first time he revealed himself, it wasn't love. It was, Oy lanu miyoyim adin, oy lanu miyoyim ateichacha. Yosef kicks everyone out. He says, Yehuda, come here. Come here. What did you just say? What did you say? You said that what is my father going to do? What is my father going to do? How will he live if I come back to you, to him, without Binyamin? Meaning he's not going to be able to live. Look me in the face. Look me in the eyes and tell me that you know who I am? Ani Yosef. What did you do to me? The first words he says are Ani Yosef ha'oid avichai. So the Beis HaLevi says, he knew their father was alive, right? They just came to him a few days later, earlier when they arrived. He asked them, how's my father doing? They said he's doing great. In between then and now, they didn't send him a WhatsApp. They didn't email him. They didn't FaceTime him. They didn't know if he was more alive now or not. Yet as soon as he revealed himself, he says, Ani Yosef ha'oid avichai. What he meant was to rebuke them. He says, you have this airtight taina. You say that if you don't bring Binyamin, our father's dead. And what did you do to me? And that was his answer to Yehuda's taina. And then he says, okay, but I'm Yosef, your brother. Says the Beis HaLevi, we come all the time with tainas. For example, I can't give tzedakah. I can't give tzedakah. Why? What do you want? I'm living in New York City, and I have a bunch of kids, and I'm making $15,000 after taxes. That sounds like a lot. I can't live on $15,000. Because I've got to pay tuition of all my kids, I've got to pay a mortgage, I've got to pay for food, I've got to pay for all the things I've got to pay for. Look, I have no money for tzedakah. I know it says meiser, it says chaimish. I can't give anything. Here's $10 and leave me alone. Then one day, this person who has no money to pay for tzedakah, suddenly one day, they need to go on vacation. And meet them while they go on vacation, and it suddenly costs, you need 5,000, 10,000, before you know it, you go in there and you need this tips and whatever else comes over there, and the bill comes to be $18,000, and this person with no money suddenly coughs up $18,000, and you're like, I thought you didn't have money, where did that money come from? So the Beis HaLevi says, Oy lanu miyom adin, these people, Taina, they don't have money to pay for tzedakah, and they don't have time for learning Torah, but they do have time for work. The same guy who says, I can't breathe, I have no time to breathe, how should I learn Torah? And you see him suddenly at a Broadway show. He's at a Broadway show, he has no time to breathe, but he's watching a Broadway show. He has no way to give tzedakah, but he wrote out $50,000 and something is important to him. He bought a house, and he's like, yeah, but what do you mean? A house needs furniture. Can't live without furniture. And the furniture comes out to be, it's not covered like that. I've got to have, my wall-to-wall carpeting, whatever. I need this special stuff. And the same guy who doesn't have money spends on luxuries. Oy lanu miyom adin, oy lanu miyom ateichacha. Now you understand what Bilam's pain is? Bilam says, you have no money to give tzedakah, but you go spend $185,000 on what? On box seats and a private jet. So give the tzedakah. That's what Rashi's saying. Vayachbosh Bilam es hasoinoi. Bilam himself harnesses his donkey. Bilam is saying to God, look what I did. Bilam is the mekatrik. Bilam is the force inside each and every one of us. What's that force? That force inside of us that says, have you ever woken up early in the morning and not being distracted? Did you ever have something to do that was super important that you didn't check your phone? For example, you have to go do a deal, it's $1 billion deal, and you can't sleep at night, and you mamish had not hardly any sleep, you wake up in the morning, massive closing, you come to work, you notice, I didn't check my WhatsApps yet. I don't know what's going on in the world. Your distraction is there because you don't care enough. That's Bilam's point. Understand what Rashi is saying? Says Rashi, Hashem tells him, Bilam was trying to make a point. You see, alacrity is possible when you want to. Yeah, you don't want to, so you don't care, but when you want to, it's possible. Great, so what's the answer? What's the answer? So Hashem tells him, Rasha, Avram came before you. Okay, yeah. So what does that mean? Here's the Nakuda. We Jews, we kind of were distracted. We have no way to do this. Bilam says, distracted. You're distracted because it doesn't mean much to you. If you would care enough about it, you would do it. You don't care. Says the Medrash, Rasha, for Kodamcha Avram Aviyim. Avram preceded you. What Pshat Avram preceded you? The Pshat is, inside every Jew is a deep reservoir overflowing with spirituality. Did you notice what an amazing and incredible thing happened this week? Hashem Yishmo, we should never experience such a thing ever. But what happened was, 11 Jews were slaughtered in a Jewish house of worship, on a Jewish day, in a Jewish place, with a man who walks in and all he cares to say is, death to the Jews. So there's some wonderful rabbi who goes along and says, and I don't know if it's fake news or not, but irrelevant, he says, yeah, but what was he doing in this event? What was the event? And where was the place? What kind of house of worship was it? Was it a real shul? Or was it a fake shul? Was it a real bris? Or what kind of bris? And therefore, divert our attention away from one single point. These people were murdered for what reason? For one reason, and one reason only. That they were Jewish. He didn't care. It didn't matter to him one iota what type of Jew they were. All that he cared
He
was,
wouldn't even know the difference.
he would have no idea. It's a Jewish place, Jewish. Death to the Jews. So what does that tell you about Jews?
They're all the same.
Exactly the opposite. It tells you that to be a Jew is amazing, it's special, it's unique, it's incredible. You get it? You can do whatever you want. You could decide to go against God in any way you want. You could knock him totally out of your life. And when that Yimach Shemoinik walks inside of it, he says, a Jew, death to the Jews. Because every single Jew, every single one of us, has inside of him a kvar kodomcho Avraham Avinu. We are preceded by Avraham. Avraham Avinu instilled inside each and every one of us that no matter what we do, no matter how far we stray, no matter where we go, we are Jews. And the world will see us as Jews, and we should see ourselves as Jews. So when a Jew says, I don't know, this Judaism thing is not important to me. God says, first of all, Bilam, you should know, that is important to the Jew. He may not realize it, but I'm telling you that every single Jew, when push comes to shove, has it inside of him. Imagine you could live your life the way that Yimach Shmoi wants to kill us. Imagine you would live your life and experience that. That's the key. You want to know what the answer to Bilam is. Meaning like this, I'm saying it in a psychological way, in a practical way. A person says, I don't know what to do. I wake up in the morning, all I can think about is my WhatsApps and my pain and suffering, and I don't know, and yes, it's true, when Bilam distracts me and something else happens, I fall for it. I don't know what to do. But really, Hashem tells you, Rabid, you care about God more than you could ever imagine. And you need to summon this reservoir of holiness, of godliness that you have inside of you. You know how you do that? You daven and you focus and you say, he wants to kill me. He wanted to kill me. But that means inside of me there's God. There's an Eibishter inside me. And the more you focus on that, the more it becomes the most important thing in your life. So when you say, I don't know how to be an Avraham Avinu, you are an Avraham Avinu. Maybe you don't yet know fully how to express it. But the more you focus on what it means to be a Ben Avram, Avram bequeathed to each and every one of us this power. I was in Shul last week on Shabbos, and the guy comes over to me and he reminded me of an amazing episode that happened. About 7 years ago, his daughter was in, I think it was Columbia University Hospital. She had a machla for an extended period of time. She had to go into hospital, and the parents spent all the time they could with the kid. It was a very trying time for them. He says, I'm on Shabbos, spending this thing with my little daughter, 6-year-old kid. He says, and I'm with her the whole time, and I went down for a few minutes for minyan. So I look at the clock, Shabbos is coming out, it's about Motzei Shabbos. I go down to the 6th floor to the Bikur Cholim room, which was also the shul for all of us around here. And a whole bunch of guys come in from Ma'ariv, and everyone's got their story, everyone who's there is with a pekel. And he says, as we're about to daven Ma'ariv, a guy walks in, a Chassidish guy, wearing a shtreimel and bekisha. He comes in and he says, Ich bete ya teva. He says, please don't daven over here.
Why?
I want you all to please come with me to the 9th floor, the NICU ward, and I want you please to come up with me and daven over there. He says, he has a little baby. She is 3 years old. And the doctors have said that this is it. There's no more hope. It's a matter of hours. And I want that B'shas Yetzias Neshama, at the very least, there should be a minyan present. No one can say no to that. So everyone gets out. No more Ma'ariv taking place over here. They're all going up to the 9th floor. They walk up the stairs. They get up to the thing. And he says, I came inside there. I have my own daughter with her tzaras, but nothing like this. There's a kid lying over there on the bed, and we all surrounded the bed, and we daven Maariv. It was a real Maariv. It was a real deep tefillah of begging God for my own issues and for this little child over here. And her father was right beside her bed. Her mother was behind, and they davening and they crying. It was a very emotional tefillah. At the end of the tefillah, we finished, and we all have to go to our own thing. But the father says, I want to tell you something. He said, tonight is Chai Cheshvan. I think the Chai Cheshvan is a yard site of the Bnei Yissaschar. I think it's Chai Cheshvan. It's the Bnei Yissaschar. He said, I want to tell you a word that the Bnei Yissaschar said. He said that when the Bnei Yissaschar said that the Pasuk says, "V'hemin b'Hashem v'yachshaveh lo yitzedoko." Avraham Avinu, he believed God, and God gave him the promise, and he believed God, and God said, I'm going to consider it as tzedakah. So Rashi says, what is the tzedakah? That he believed in God. The tzedakah is the emunah in Hashem. It says the Bnei Yissaschar. A human being is fragile. He has nothing what to offer God. He has nothing what to give back to God. What can a human being give to God? But Hakol b'dei shamayim chutz miyiras shamayim. You have one thing and one thing only you can give to God, and what is that? God says, I give you the power that you can have emunah, and that power is the only thing you have that I don't have, and I give it over to you and give it back to me. And when a yid believes, when he has emunah, says the Bnei Yissaschar, v'yachshaveh l'tzedakah, God says, thank you for the tzedakah. He says, I have nothing what to offer God, and my daughter is in a position, Hashem Yishmo. I want you to know, I'm saying this in front of a minyan, B'shas Yetzias Neshama. He says, I want you to know, God, I have perfect emunah in you, I have completely no questions, and here it is, Hashem Nosan, Hashem Lokach, God, I love you despite all. 2 hours later, she gave back her soul to her Maker. A Yid has inside of him a reservoir of emunah, of the most incredible, powerful emunah. God should help us to be able to use it for happy things. But one thing Rashi says is, when that Bilam comes over to you, and Bilam says, look at you. Make money, you give away, power to do whatever you need, right? There's rizzles to work, to go watch a football game, to go watch a Broadway, whatever you need to do, there you have the power. And where's your connection to God? You know what you say? Kvar kodamcha Avraham Avinu, Russia. You realize one thing? We have Avraham Avinu inside of us. To a Jew, God is real. Eibishter is real, Yiddishkeit is real, Emunah is real. All we got to do is release the power. Tap into that reservoir of Emunah that we have. He says death to the Jews, we say life to the Jews. We realize who we are, what koyach we have, and with that koyach, we can overcome any challenge.
Thank you.
Press.
Press.